All right, well, they usually just like get right into it, so we should know very soon what we're getting. Let's go! Heard that league was terrible?
Hi,
I liked it, but a lot of
I'm
people didn't
Jonathan
like
Rogers
it.
from Grinding Gear Games, and welcome to GGG Live. Today we're going to show you an exclusive reveal of what's coming next for Path of Exile 2.
He seems weirdly somber.
Are enabled on today's live stream, so you'll be able to claim your Sun Priest's
Oh yeah, drops on the purple site if you guys want them.
Instructions below.
Bye, Justin.
With that out of the way, let's get started. It's time to give you a teaser of what's coming in Path of Exile 2, the Third Edict.
Doesn't seem like the drops are live yet, though.
I have called you here to save our people, to save our way. Over the ages, we have known pain like no other, but we endured, and we became mighty.
So that's the Karui people, right?
Now, outsiders dishonor our shores, and we have stood by, doing nothing. Hear my voice, ancestors! Show us your strength! Show us the true way!
So we're getting the trial of the ancestors, yeah? He looked cool. Land sharks? Burb! Their monster, like their boss design, they're just so cool looking.
The true Makuramakoi will rise.
Your laptop's in another country? Oh no! Act 4 confirmed? Okay. 3 interlude acts, so that was true. So it looks like the leaks were legit. 35 new areas. 24 new bosses. Support gem overhaul, okay. Is this the live? Yes. Massive skill rework, 40 lineage. Okay, so the leaks were 100% accurate. Yep. When's this coming out? Next Friday. 1 week from tomorrow. Or 1 week from the day after tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, Riz. Rise of the Abyssal. I don't know what that means. Oh wait, Abyss was one of the mechanics from PoE 1, right? Am I playing Druid? Druid has not been confirmed. It doesn't look like we're getting a new class. There was no class mentioned in that trailer whatsoever. So I don't know what I'm going to play. So yeah, August 29th at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Yep, the PoE 2, yep.
Now, as you can see, there's a lot going on, and we have a lot to reveal today.
Yeah, so unless they're waiting to announce a new class.
Path of Exile 2 storyline, but that's not all. There's also 3 new interlude acts to get you to
Cruel's
Endgame,
gone.
We're removing
Hell
full
yeah.
difficulty too. After that, we'll be going through the massive changes to characters.
So
I'm super
Rise of the
excited to show you
Abyssal
how
is
to
the
overhaul
League,
the
and the
entire
Third
support
Edict is
system.
the
Added new
expansion.
skills, and yes, there are buffs. Next, we'll go over the Rise of the Abyssal.
You'll sit on your backlog?
Exclusive League mechanic, and talk
Fair.
about the new rewards.
You don't need to buy the
areas,
new
and
game,
bosses
or
that
this.
add.
This is just an update.
After that, it's
For
on the
PoE
changes
2.
we're making to the end game.
Nothing to
Then
buy
it's time
here
to
if
talk
you
about
already own
items,
PoE 2.
crafting, and oh yeah, trade. That's going to be a big one. We'll then go over our new supporter packs and finish up with a live Q&A session where Ziggy D will ask Path of Exile 2's game directors, myself and Mark, your questions
What up,
from
Eric?
Twitch chat. And after that,
Maps were boring grind
3
from...
p.m.
Yeah,
Pacific,
I agree with that.
patch
But it looks
Not
like there
complete,
is going to be
but they should
some
give you some
new
nice details
endgame
to chew on.
stuff. So hopefully feels more
We've got
interesting.
a lot to cover today, but first, another announcement. When the Third Edict launches on
Free
the 29th,
weekend.
we'll be having
Nice.
a free weekend for Path of Exile 2.
You haven't already bought
That's
it?
right. Path of Exile 2 will be free for the first time without requiring an early access key. The free weekend will end on September the 1st, so
I like
you'll
that they're
have plenty
doing
of
that.
time to give the game a try. All right.
I never really played the first one. Your buddy tells you he's telling you to get it. I mean, the first one's completely free right now. This one will be free eventually, but right now it's paid for early access.
The instrument of the Third Edict.
They're tough games to get into, but they do offer a lot.
He believes that the pieces may be found in the Karui Archipelago, the home of the Karui tribes.
Actually making changes? Oh yeah.
Journey to King's March.
So King's March, this is the town that we built in PoE 1.
When you open the map, you can choose to
in the Settlers League or whatever. Settlers of Kalgur.
Completely non-linear, and you can visit the islands in any order you choose.
Oh, neat. Is it gonna mouse keyboard? Oh yeah.
Beaches of Whakapanu Island. The Karui
is it more advanced Diablo? Kinda.
All who travel there. Perhaps it's related to the weapon you see.
What's up, Elaine? You're from Brazil? What up, Brazil?
Or maybe you will visit the
that place looks
shores
cool.
of the Isle of Kin. The Kin have been more restless recently, mining for sulfite and driven by some dark force.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back into this game.
Perhaps you will choose to consult with one of the local Karui tribes. Their ancient wisdom could hold clues to finding the Third Edict.
TikTok's being finicky? How so?
You will fight dangerous beasts.
Yeah, the new league starts next Friday.
Find fabulous treasures.
Excited to play your entire weekend away before vacation? Nice. Got to Act 3 but never completed. So it used to be to where you had to play Act 1 through 3 and then play them again on Cruel difficulty. They're getting rid of Cruel now, so it's Act 1 through 4 now, and then 3 mini acts. Need some teammates to play with because you did it solo. I played the game solo as well, but I know some people do play in groups.
And plenty of other interesting encounters. There's a huge amount to show.
Don't tell TikTok. Shoot.
We want
Anyways.
a chance to discover it all for yourself. What happens after Act 4?
I find that this game in particular is hard in multiplayer just because there's so many spell effects everywhere. It's hard to see what's going on, and there's a lot of like ground explosions, but
we needed something else to do in between the end of Act 4 and the end game. So what else could we do? Add 3 new mini acts, of course, and we're calling them the interludes. The interludes are a set of 3 temporary side stories that will be included in the game until Act 5 is
temporary
released.
side
It
stories.
will take you to level 65 where the end game can begin. The first interlude sends you on a journey back to Ogham. Renly has been leading the efforts to rebuild Ogham Village after the defeat of Count Geonor, but there's a new danger afoot.
Yeah, I highly recommend playing this game with either a controller or WASD on mouse and keyboard. I like playing it WASD. It feels really good.
You'll discover new
You can play click to move like Diablo on mouse and keyboard, but I find it feels weird.
and new bosses.
Ooh, that boss fight looks cool.
You'll need to find your way through the darkness, uncover the source of corruption,
What up, Thrill?
Will serve our master.
and defeat it.
Yes, I shall dance with their corpse.
If anybody is watching on the Clock app or the Red app, on the Purple app there are drops right now. If anybody cares about earning those,
Been given a sacred duty.
or at least they're supposed to be.
When the skies align, the gifting of water
they working
requires
yet?
a chosen Sekima
Yeah, they're
to
working
meet
now.
with the Selkari, guardians of the sacred water.
You can use
They're
number
nowhere to be
pad for
found.
spell. I mean, you can rebind them to
You'll
whatever
need
you want
track
to.
down the Selkari. Find those responsible for disrupting the gifting. Fight even more new bosses. Discover the secrets of the ancient ritual. Discover new locations,
There's not a command. You just have to watch for, I think, 30 minutes.
and ultimately help Asala carry out her sacred duty. Now for Interlude 3. As Royal Thaumaturge of
45?
Dubai,
Okay, that's
Dorian
not too
had
bad.
plans within plans to save his people from the cataclysm perpetuated by Atzeri's lust for power. One such plan involved sealing a group of willing Vars
This
deep
gate
in the
here
great
gives me
mountain
very
vaults of the Holy Esmeri,
Diablo
deep
2
enough
Act
to
5
survive
boss
the battle.
vibes, like leaving
Even though
town.
thousands of years
The
have
Harrogath
passed, he
gate.
believes that their descendants will
Harrogath?
still live and may be key to defeating the beast. The
Harrogath?
journey up the mountain will be dangerous.
I don't know if I've ever actually heard them say it. I don't know how they pronounce it.
And the further up the mountain you venture, the
I like
colder
this
it
snowy
will become.
area.
Explore caves of ice
I hope you can draw in the snow.
and enter the vault itself.
Somebody's gonna draw a
Who
wiener.
can say what you will find within? The interludes are 6 to 7 areas each and generally include 4 boss fights as well.
Your soldier gonna get it?
Together with Act 4, that adds up to
It's fun.
35
It's hard.
new
It's a
areas in
hard
the
game,
campaign,
but it is
24
fun.
new bosses. It's worth making clear that the interludes are temporary. When Act 5 and 6 are added, the interludes will be going away. These are side stories after all, but don't worry, the bosses and areas that make up the interlude are all part of the endgame. We're not just going to throw them away.
You enjoy a good
And with
challenge?
that,
Yeah,
you
like
don't
the
need
bosses
builds of
themselves
difficulty anymore.
almost feel like
We do know
Souls-like
that it's a
bosses.
pretty big chore to have to play through the campaign multiple times.
Don't like easy games as Diablo? Yeah.
This was a huge reason that the campaign could feel like a bit of a slog when playing through.
So if you
again.
don't eat snow?
But we do also have another.
'Cause they
good feature to
drew it
address
with
that
P?
particular concern as
Probably.
well. So let's talk about sprinting. In 030, when you hold down the dodge roll button, your character will go into a sprint after they finish the roll.
That's cool.
This is available on all character classes, and there's no limitation on how long
You love Souls games? So
The primary purpose of this feature
this
is
game,
navigating
the bosses
areas
feel a
faster
little
than
like
out of
Souls-likes.
combat.
If you love
Because of
Souls
that, if you
games
do
though,
take
and you
the
like
hit while sprinting,
RPGs like
you'll
this,
fall
check
to the
out No Rest for the Wicked. Game is
The
incredible.
best idea is to use a skill when you see monsters. That'll break you out of the sprint so you can engage with no danger. If you do need to run away from monsters, just hold spacebar. You won't be vulnerable during the roll, and you're faster while sprinting than basically any monster in the game, allowing you to retreat from combat.
That'll be
Sprint
nice.
is a pretty significant change to PoE 2's gameplay. What I like most about it is that we can accelerate the pace of the game for those who want that, without having to compromise on PoE 2's more visceral combat systems. Okay, so that's the new extensions to the campaign, but there's a whole giant league to play through as well. I'll leave that to Mark to talk about later. And that's because what I want to talk about now is the new stuff for your characters. And probably one of the biggest new systems here is with the support gems. Now,
Yeah,
support gems
you're
are
not
one of the
limited
most
to one of
interesting
each now,
elements to
which
creating a
is
build.
huge.
They're what enables so many interesting mechanics and different ways to play. But PoE 2's support gem system has just never been quite right. One of the major issues is the limitation of only having one support
You played that
gem of
one?
each type
Yeah.
in your character.
I think that's the game
We
I'm
didn't want
most
builds to
hyped
just
for.
become using the same 5 most powerful supports in every skill. The problem with this design, though, is that it's actually working against using multiple skills in your build. If you can only use each support gem on one skill, it means that you're encouraged to go all in on that one ability. And we want to encourage you to
You missed
combo
most of
your
this?
abilities.
It's only been out for 10
Something needed
minutes.
to change. So with that in mind, we've removed the restriction of having one of each support gem per character. You can now use as many copies as you like. This should drastically increase the amount of possible builds and increase the amount of skill diversity. There are a lot of potential builds that suffered from the previous restriction. For example, a poison build previously couldn't add poison to more than one skill. They couldn't use stacking poison on more than one skill either. This severely limited your ability to combo with anything outside of the specifically designed poison archetype, but now you can. Many
You wanted the
utility
finisher?
skills
Oh, you gotta
previously
watch on
couldn't
the
scale
purple
to
site for
endgame
that.
because the supports that would make them scale were more useful to use in other skills. You would never speed up killing Palm with martial tempo. When
Yeah,
you would
that's
much
the-
rather
that's
use it
the
on your
drop.
primary skill instead.
You
There
gotta
are more
watch on
examples like
Purple
this
Site
all
for
over.
45 minutes. But it should be going for a while. They usually do Q&A
In
and
addition to
stuff.
that, though,
Yeah, it's still
we thought
available.
there
I
wasn't
think it's
enough
available
limited
all day
progression in the supports as you went through the game. There were
on
only
any
3
channel
tiers of
that's
supports,
streaming
and
PoE
many
2.
of the most important ones were given out at Tier 1. Also, there were no strict upgrades, meaning that upgrading supports when you ran out of sockets required quite a lot of thinking.
Till midnight.
In order to solve these issues, we now also have multiple
You're heading
levels
out?
of
All right,
mini
take it
supports
easy.
as you go through the game. For example, double barrel support gives you an extra bolt, but at the cost of 30% less reload speed. At Tier 2, the penalty gets lowered
I like
to
that.
20%.
More ranks for support
But then at
gems.
Tier 3, the support gem gets something new.
Ooh.
It now reloads
Yo, thank you for the
automatically when
galaxy.
you heavy stun an enemy.
You like Diablo better? I like Diablo a
In some
lot. I like
cases, the
both
highest
games. They're
tiers
very
might work a little
different. They
differently.
scratch
You
different
have to
itches for
decide if
me.
you like the
But I
upgrade or
enjoy
not,
both.
depending on your build. For example, rapid casting. The first couple of levels gives 15, then 20% increased cast speed. But then at Tier 3, it changes to a new approach. For each different spell you cast in the last 8 seconds, you get 10% increased cast speed, which could be a pretty big bonus if you use a lot of different spells. So that's pretty good for upgrades through the campaign, but we wanted to add a little more spice to the endgame for supports too. And that's where our new system, Lineage Supports, comes in.
I
These
saw
are
this, but I
unique
didn't actually
items, but
understand
for
what it
supports.
was.
There are supports that are only available at endgame, but they're much more powerful. Like Ratha's Assault. It's an upgraded version of Double Barrel that
Oh,
reloads your
okay.
skill as you dodge roll, as well as increasing the number of bolts it can hold. But it does mean that it's the only way you can reload the skill now. Now, unlike regular supports, you can't find these through the uncut support gem.
When's it coming
Just
out?
like
Next
new
Friday.
items, many of these can be found from specific bosses.
And yes, I'll be streaming it.
And there's a ton in the regular drop pool too. Some of them are fairly rare. Others fairly common.
You'll be back on it? Same. I'm excited to get back into this.
Some of them are build defining.
Okay.
Others are just straight up power upgrades.
Hell yeah. Take a break from
Overall,
Diablo
there's
until
around
next
40
season? Yeah.
lineage supports being added throughout the endgame.
Yeah, I played the
So there's
PTR a
lot
little
of power
bit,
to find out there.
and I'm pretty much
Now,
done with Season
the new
9,
support
so...
gems are certainly going to open
right
up
there
a
with
lot
ya.
of builds, but of course we have a huge range of improvements to individual character classes as well. As well as adding new skills, we had a big focus on buffing existing skills so that they can scale well into the endgame. There's a huge amount to cover here, so we're not going to discuss everything. We're just going to quick fire through some of the coolest changes.
Yeah, coolest changes.
We wanted to make cold a more useful element on the Ranger, so we've expanded the cold tools available. As well as increasing its range, Escape Shot now creates fragments of ice whenever it hits the ground. These fragments explode after a short time, making the skill better for killing groups of enemies. But not only that, we added an ice fragment support that creates more of them when killing frozen enemies. And a new buff skill called Ice-Tipped Arrows that allows all your arrows to create ice fragments.
Okay.
This already gives clear to rangers wanting to use ice.
Big
Take
monkey.
further advantage of the ice fragments.
Heyo.
Salvo has been upgraded to send additional cold arrows towards every fragment.
Thank you for the
giving
subby.
it a nuke-like ability. We've also modified Snipe to consume frozen from enemies, dealing a huge amount more damage, giving you a nice ice single target option. And something you might notice about this is that the bonus is a lot higher against bosses. This is actually a change you'll see throughout the entire game. Since it's a lot harder to freeze a boss, you should get a bigger reward for it. Another theme you'll see throughout the game is making movement feel better. Toxic Growth is a skill that was pretty cool, but a bit annoying to use with the jump that it had. Now Toxic Growth is a range skill, so you can spam it more easily. And we've also added a new poison skill while we were at it, called Toxic Domain. It creates a small area around you that makes all your attacks create toxic growth pustules, but attached to monsters. Another skill that was annoying to use was Electrocuting Arrow. It's now just a regular arrow, making it easier to use. But it also means you can support it with projectile supports. And it now also has Area of Effect, making it a tool for more than just single target, and allowing it to scale into the endgame. We also added a new spirit reservation called Mirage Archer. This is a meta skill that allows you to create shadowy clones of yourself to use a skill of your choice.
Gotta get back into PvE2 when it comes out? Yeah, same.
Of course, one of the other big problems the Ranger had was survivability. Evasion was the weakest.
Yeah,
of
I'll
the
probably
three
be playing it
defenses. We
for
wanted to change
probably
that.
about a month until the new D4 season comes out.
Currently, Evasion doesn't evade all types of hits in the game.
Hopefully it
so
keeps
you're
my
still
interest
vulnerable
that long.
to things like slams or unblockable attacks. To make Evasion characters more tanky, we're adding a new mechanic called Deflect. Like
Hawkers!
Evasion, Deflect works on everything.
Home delivery
If
is
you
great until they
successfully
forget your
deflect
ice
a
cream,
hit, you
rude.
take 40% less damage. Items can now give you a mod that gives you some amount of deflection based on your evasion.
By the way, thank you for that sub. I'm putting your name on this
And there's
bill
a
right
benefit
here.
available on the passive tree too.
If people weren't here
Deflection
when
is more of an attrition
these are
rule.
fake, these aren't real.
So this is
But
an upgrade for
people
regular
weren't
hits
here
too.
yesterday. I'm doing this thing where every sub
Unlike Evasion, there's no maximum
gets money
charge.
dropped into a
You
jar,
can reach 100% deflect against all hits. If
and
you
when I
step into
finish
it.
one of these off,
Of course,
we're gonna be doing a giveaway on my Discord. So you'll want to join the Discord.
But especially the Huntress to see a big defense boost
Each
from
one of
this
these
as
that I
well.
finish off, I'm going to be giving away a copy
Speaking
of the
of
next
defensive
D4
mechanics,
expansion.
let's talk about blocking
If you don't play
and parry.
D4, we can figure something
Now,
else
one of
out,
the big
but
concerns on the release of the Huntress was parry feeling unreliable. One of the big reasons for this is there's a lot of hits that are not blockable, and thus not parryable either. So a huge balance change we're making is that now everything is blockable, except for specifically unblockable red flash skills that bosses use. This makes parry much more reliable. And not only that, but to make block and
They really
parry
want
nicer
people to
use,
parry, huh?
You now also move faster than before while using these abilities. This is a massive buff to passive block as well. So to counter
anything
that, we
that
did
lets
have
us
to
move
lower
around
max passive
quicker
block
is going to be a huge W for this
Overall, it
game.
should feel much safer.
We're getting any new weapon types? They haven't announced anything yet. Not that I've heard.
Fire skills on the warrior were not really cutting the mustard. So we decided
We're not
to
we're not
upgrade
getting a
bunch
new
of them, but
class,
also add some more
so
as well.
I'm kind of
Let's
thinking
start
probably
with the
not.
buff. Volcanic fish are now branches into multiple fishes, giving it much more clearing potential.
I'm kind of surprised by that though.
We've also added a new skill called Forge Hammer. This skill throws a molten hammer that does a slam at a distance. You can recall the hammer
That's
back
sick.
by using the skill again if you
Hammer
want,
throw.
but the cooler thing to do is to use a war cry near it. Using a war cry makes the hammer explode,
Ooh.
making a bunch of volcanic fishes around. Volcanic fishes re-trigger when you slam them, so it's a great skill to make a flaming arena to fight a boss. We also buffed Perfect Strike to have much larger area of effect, and changed Molten Blast to not always force you to move forward. Trust me, it feels a lot better to use now. The skill now has massively boosted chance to ignite monsters
that's
as
cool.
well. And you're going to want to ignite monsters due
I don't
to
know
a
what
new
I wanna
glory
play yet.
skill
I have
called
no
Ancestral
idea.
Cry. Ancestral Cry charges up with glory by igniting monsters, invoking King Calm's favor. After you do, use it to channel
Holy
Cal's
shit.
ancestral power. Every attack will be ancestrally boosted with fire. Your very steps will explode, triggering volcanic fissures, and molten balls will erupt from your attacks. Warrior shield skills were another area we wanted to improve. Now that we've got sprint, we actually don't need to have a cooldown on shield charge anymore. It now also does more damage the further away you are when you use it. Shield wall got significantly upgraded AoE. Also, you can shield charge right through it to trigger all the walls. We also added a new shield war cry. Fortifying Cry gives you a defensive buff, but it also builds up charge on your shield that empowers your other shield skills. And Magma Barrier now doesn't
What up, Davey?
require
How you
time in
doing?
order to use. Just wait for your shield to charge up and block. Seismic Cry now stuns enemies that are primed for stun. And we changed the Sundered
Blackjaw!
interaction with Armor Break. It now also gives a Sundered Armor debuff that makes enemies take 40% extra physical damage.
Oh, damn.
Great for bosses.
Playing some WoW.
Ancestral Warrior Totem's undergone some
You know,
pretty significant
after the
changes too.
midnight announcement,
We wanted the
I'm
skills
excited
to
to
feel
get
more
back
like
into
using
WoW
ultimate.
at some point.
That summoning an ancestor
I might
fight
do
is
the
a
Legion
big deal.
remix in
So we've
October.
changed this totem to require 3 endurance charge to summon, and massively buffed its damage. It also now scales your weapon damage too. Since there's no limit anymore, if you build around generating endurance charges, you can summon an entire forest of totems.
Would I play
In order to
Legion
make that
Classic?
easier, we added some
I'm
new
not
sources of
super
endurance
into
charge.
Classic because I
Now
played
support
all of the
perfect
expansions
strike
when they were
charges,
the real
and a support for
expansion.
generating
So I don't
endurance
know,
charge from
maybe?
heavy stuns as well. Speaking of totems, we wanted to upgrade the
If they
core
did
room.
Classic Plus
Among
and
other
kept
changes
the
related to
original
class,
like
Answered Call now
gameplay
gives an
style
extra totem,
and
and the
progressed
spirits
it
have
through
just
the
been
other
generally
expansions or
buffed in many
something,
ways.
I would play that for
Use
sure.
it with your limitless ancestral warrior forest to make an army of Karui that would make Tukahama proud. We've also merged the Great Wolf Howl and Warcall
I feel like some of these graphics
so you can get all
look
the
better than
benefits
I
with one
remember.
point.
Is it just because I haven't played in a while, or did they actually improve it?
And in case
Not a
you
fan of how the
enjoyed
style
Donald
changed
Release
after
the
Legion.
Jade
I mean,
Wolf,
honestly, with
then
Cataclysm,
upgraded
it changed dramatically.
Next up, there's
Wish there was an
talk
option
about
to stay in the expansion you want. Yeah.
accuracy was
I mean, I
always
think you
intended to be
can,
something
can't
that
you?
Warriors didn't need to care about very much.
Oh
so long as
no,
they're in
no,
close
I get
combat.
what you're saying.
But unfortunately, that's not currently the case. This was
But like
particularly
the
annoying with
rumors
skills like Bone
of
Shatter,
them
which you
doing a
certainly don't
Classic
want to
Plus
mess
to
with.
kind of follow Season
From
of
significantly
Discovery
buff your chance to hit
would be
close
really cool.
ranges when you don't
Diablo,
have
this is
buffs.
Path of Exile 2.
Warriors shouldn't require any accuracy.
Same
investment
kinda-
in order
same
to
kinda
hit
game,
close
though.
range attacks now. We also wanted to improve armor. Now, one of the major weaknesses of armor is the inability to defend against elemental damage. In order to mitigate this, we're adding a lot more of the stat that allows your armor to
Yeah, this
defend
is
against
like
elemental damage.
Diablo
It's
for
available in
people
items
with
and a lot more places on the
math
passive
degrees.
tree.
What did I think about the D4 announcement and the
One of
Paladin?
most important updates were made
Did
in
you
Zero
did you have a
Dark to
dream about
declunk
that?
the
Because
action
that
and flow
hasn't
of shooting
happened.
crossbows. You can now
There's
reload crossbows
been
at any
rumors
movement
and leaks, but nothing confirmed yet.
But not only
nothing
that,
announced.
All skills that can be used while moving now slow you for a shorter amount of time.
I think you had a
This
really
change
good
affects
dream,
everyone,
Davey.
Not just crossbow skills. With both of these changes put together,
I hope that's
the
what
run-and-gun
happens.
playstyle feels
That's
much
what I
better.
expect in December at the Game
It's hard
Awards.
to explain how important this change is.
Leaks
for
and
the
stuff,
Level
but
Plus.
you know it's coming. I
The
think it's
version is
coming.
also a good chance to talk about how we're rebalancing to
If
make
they announce
combo
Paladin, I will
skills
be
much
very
better.
excited.
Take Shock, for example. It buffs damage and lasts 4 seconds right now. But that isn't really giving you enough time to take advantage of it. If you're going to add a lightning skill into a build that otherwise wouldn't use one, we need to make mechanics like this much better. So we've increased shock duration on monsters to last 8
Hell
seconds.
yeah.
And skills like Plasma Blast, which are intended to be good at shocking enemies, now increase the damage bonus by a lot more.
But yeah,
You'll find changes like this all
I
around
made
the
a
game.
prediction on Twitter because a lot of people thought that the expansion was going to be coming out like early next year. I'm thinking Gamescom in December we get the announcement of it, but I don't think we're going to actually see the expansion come out until September of next year after BlizzCon.
It makes using them in your build alongside
I
other
hope
skills
I'm wrong.
much
I hope
more.
we don't have to wait that long, but that's what I feel in
We're also
my
making sure to buff
gut.
specific combos too. The freeze explosions from frag rounds now chain to nearby enemies. And using high velocity rounds with armor break will now fragment the opponent's armor. This causes monsters to take a portion of high velocity rounds damage with every subsequent hit, even tiny pellets. So that means following up with a
That
shotgun
said,
blast
between
is
now
way
and
more
then,
effective.
they got some cool stuff planned for seasons.
Now there's a lot more buffs to crossbow skills, but for now I'm just going to talk about the new one we added, the Mortar Cannon. This one lets you socket any grenade skill, and using it will summon a cannon which loads and then fires the grenade you choose. Another issue on the Mercenary were banners. They were just not very good, so we're doing a big upgrade to them. They now last longer, don't disappear when moving out of them, and we removed the Valor mechanic. They now just give a much more consistent and stronger buff, and you can use them when you get enough glory. On Witch, one of the main focuses was making various minion types more useful to use together. Melee minions in particular were just not that great compared to ranged ones. As a starting point, we just straight up removed the requirement for minions to have accuracy. Attack minions now always hit, which makes them way better. Brutes got some good numeric buffs, but we also added a new command skill where they do a war cry that intimidates enemies and detonates any frozen monsters and allies.
I don't know what I want to play.
We've also changed the Frost Mage's command skill to an ability that adds ice armor to your other minions, adding a layer of defense. And it makes them deal cold damage back to the attacker as well. The ice armor also makes the minion count as frozen, so the Brute's Warcry can detonate them too. Unearth was changed to work on corpses of your dead skeletons, allowing you to summon the minions more easily in boss fights. And they also got a new jump.
What class? I don't know. I don't know.
Ray's Spectre was also
like I always liked the.
To be honest, we were a little afraid of these when we
was it a sorceress? I don't even remember what they called it. What they call it in this game.
Large range of monsters, and will significantly increase Spectre damage.
I like the sword.
They should feel a lot more impactful.
I like the monk. I kind of want to try a Smith of Katava build. Not the witch, the other caster.
The Reaping Staff is actually a wicked scythe that gives you a new ability called Reap. When an enemy is low in life, you can dash forward and rake enemies with the scythe to cull them instantly, healing you. It can also inflict critical weakness on enemies too. Now, there's a lot of balance changes in the Witch's Ascendancy classes, but I'll just talk about 2 of them for now. On the Blood Mage, you were previously required to spend your first points on Sangomancy, which really was supposed to be the downside for being able to access the powerful abilities on the rest of the class. In order to make picking the Blood Mage a better early option, we've made Sangomancy free, unlocking the power of the rest of the class immediately.
Free shit!
The demon form wasn't something people were really using because you lost your weapon stats while transformed.
It is Sork? Okay.
You no longer do, so it's a much better option now.
I like just thematically, I really think that's cool. Because the way that it transforms the way your character looks.
Staggering Palm can now stack up its duration if you use the skill multiple times in a row. So you can keep the effect of all your skills.
I do like the monk playstyle. I might have to dabble.
Wind Blast had the purpose.
Looked it up because it was going to bug you? Yeah, I thought about it too. I'm glad you did.
With all that effort. Now it just dazes on hit, meaning a single Wind Blast will make all your skills stun enemies more easily. Following up with Vaulting Impact on a dazed enemy previously did a bunch of stun. Now it allows you to break your enemy's
Is this the Act 1 boss or is this a new one that just looks similar? I don't remember it being like glowy red like this.
A cool build that certain people always enjoyed in PoE 1 was hand-to-hand combat. But until now, we just didn't have a real way to make it viable.
Dead.
Well, that changes now. The monk, as a true martial artist, now has the ability to learn the Hollow Palm technique, a keystone that lets you use all quarterstaff skills while unarmed. All quarterstaff attacks now have a special unarmed version, and you get further bonuses to all your attacks from stacking Energy Shield and Evasion on your character.
That seems cool. I want to punch people to death.
Also added to the monk section of the tree is Walker of the Wilds. This changes Mana Leech to work with elemental damage instead of physical, which is pretty useful for all those elemental attacks the monk has, but it works well for the ranger too.
I might have to play that one.
Now, one of the least used Ascendancy classes in the game is the Acolyte of Chayula, so we knew we needed to make some changes here. One of the key things we had to do was make the chaos damage that the Acolyte can do much more useful. So we've added a new skill, allowing chaos damage to ignite, shock, chill, and freeze, embracing the elemental prowess of the monk in a truly chaotic fashion. In addition, he can make all of his chaos damage leech. And we've buffed Into the Breach and Embrace the Darkness by moving the effects of the 4-point nodes into the base skills. He also gains a new notable.
Release date's next Friday.
Which leaves void illusions behind you as you dodge roll. If they're killed, they do massive explosions of
and I will be playing the shit out of it.
Sight. Now let's talk about sorceress skills. One of the things we wanted to improve on the Sork is the.
What are we watching here? What's coming out? It's the Path of Exile 2 0.3.0.
This might seem small,
it's the Third Edict. Comes with Act 4.
Using a single element is debuffs like elemental curses, which lower resistances of a single element. In order
Thank you
to
for the
fix
heart
that,
me. Appreciate
we made
it.
quite a lot of game-wide changes to these kinds of mechanics to broaden what they apply to. So for example, there's no longer 3 curses for fire, ice, and lightning. Instead, there's just a single curse that buffs all 3 at the same time.
Oh, hell yeah.
And things like Frost Bomb, which gave you cold exposure, now give elemental exposure. You can use it to buff any of your other skills.
Oh, damn. That's huge.
We also wanted to make switching between different weapon sets smoother, so you can use different elemental staves more effectively. To do that, we've removed the weapon switch time, and now happens instantly. This applies game-wide too. Now,
Yeah,
we
they're
didn't just
cooking.
want to stop there. We wanted to add some specific mechanics that work between different elements, and that's where elemental infusions come in. Certain skills can now drop elemental infusions. For example, when a frost bomb explodes, it leaves behind a cold infusion on the ground.
Animations are so good,
After
yeah.
picking it up, you can spend it on one of any number of different skills to transform how they
I gotta
work.
try this with a controller. I want to see how it feels.
Spark will create a nova of cold infused projectiles.
Oh, damn.
Ice nova will leave a chilled area on the ground.
That's how you play?
And we also added a new.
I've always done
loadable skill that fires ice
WASD,
shards.
and it felt good, but
Use
I
it with
wonder if
cold
controller would
infusion
feel
mode,
better.
and the ice shards will explode.
Play on Xbox?
All we've
Do they
seen
have
now deals
WA like
lightning
mouse and
infusions
keyboard
cast on
support
spells
on
now.
Xbox for
And
this?
that's all spells, by the
I know
way, not
D4
just
just
lightning.
added it, but I don't know if they have it for this or
could
not.
cast a lightning flame wall, which adds both fire and lightning damage to all the projectiles that pass through it.
Hell yeah.
Or
Not
power
sure,
up Ember
okay.
Fusillade with lightning, which will generate arcs to nearby enemies as each fireball hits. Or maybe go lightning on lightning with arc. This skill is now a projectile, and by infusing it, you can go full Palpatine. Get fire infusions by blowing up monsters with living bomb. Then use them with Comet to summon a giant fire meteor from the sky.
Yeah!
Or use it with Firestorm, which transforms it from a small area into a much bigger one. Firestorm is unique in that it can be infused by multiple different elements at the same time. Add an ice infusion to rain down ice at the same time as the fire.
That's sick.
And add lightning to add deadly strikes from the heavens into the mix. Or use it with all 3 to generate a storm that is truly apocalyptic.
Why did that make me
Cold
think of
Snap has been
Smallville?
turned into Snap. Previously, you could
Anyways.
use it to shatter ice, but now it works to detonate all of the different elemental ailments and makes them leave behind infusions. And just like how you could previously use it on Frostbolt, you can now also use it on Orb of Storms and Solar Orb to detonate those as well, which means you can create many infusions at once. We also have a Spirit Reservation skill and a support gem to help generate them too. On the passive tree, we've added quite a few new keystones to the Sorceress section. Here are a couple of examples. The Black Flame Covenant keystone converts your fire spells to chaos and causes your ignites to deal chaos damage. Your fire spells and ignites will also turn purple. The Ritual Cadence keystone causes your
Done a ton of work on this game?
invocation
Yeah.
skills to
Yeah,
trigger
yeah.
more
It looks
times,
great.
but makes them trigger periodically over a longer duration instead of one. Great for those auto
Figuring out new builds and stuff is gonna be wild. I wish I was better at
Now, in
that kind of
addition
thing.
to skill changes, we've added a lot more options for the passive tree for each class. Overall, there are more than 100 new notables on the tree, usually around 20 per class, along with smaller ones.
Heyo! Thank you for the primer.
And here's the new.
You get your name written on
There's a lot
some
more
Riz
things, and
bucks.
there's more interesting nodes than before. Now, we probably can't go through too many of these in the live stream, so I'll just show you one from each class's area of the tree. We tried to be a lot more thematic with the new nodes. So, for example, the Molten One's gift. It lets the benefit of armor break apply to your fire damage. Or how
Druidry,
about
right? There's no new class coming,
which gives you lots of stats as
unfortunately.
your situation becomes more and more desperate.
Unless they're saving that for last.
A lot of these have themes aligning with ascendancy classes. Like for the
And
Channeling
unless they're
Legionnaire,
keeping
for
that as a, oh yeah, we have one last
crystallized
surprise.
immunities, which makes you immune to different status ailments depending on which support gem color you have socketed the most.
I just broke your heart. I'm sorry. I was hoping for a
Another
druid too,
ascendancy
or at least
class that
some
are
new
notable
class.
is Sanguimatic Rituals. It allows arcane surges to generate life instead of mana, unlocking that support gem to be used with the Blood Mage Ascendancy. In the Sork area, you'll
They could
find
be
the
saving it,
Archon
though. They could be
nodes that allow
saving
you
it.
to convert all of your elemental damage to a specific element. You become a Lightning Archon when you spend enough mana, after which all your skills will be converted to lightning, and you will do extra lightning damage as well. We have ones for cold and fire too, with different triggers. Here's another cool one. Elemental Practitioner gives crit bonuses if you've triggered a skill recently, while also making crits generate more energy for triggers. Or maybe you'd like the Great Boar. It gives you a reason to stack
No need for new classes in beta? Haven't messed with Huntress even? I mean, the reason I want new classes is less because of the classes and more because they generally come with new weapon types also.
Now, another major change is attribute requirements.
They can talk for days about these changes? Yeah, for sure.
Many nodes and attributes, and not enough in interesting passives. So we lowered attribute requirements by 25% across the board. That means you'll have more points to spend on interesting notables rather than just needing to allocate more strength, dex, and int. Now, there are way more changes than just these.
Yeah, new skill gems, new weapon types, yep.
But I'd say that's just about enough for now.
I mean, I guess they could still drop those, but...
So I think it's time that we talk about the League, the rise of the Abyssal. And to do that, I'd like to hand things over to Mark.
Hi, Mark.
As you just saw, even though there are major changes to the campaign for this update, we want to make sure that every time you come back for an expansion, each area feels different with something extra going on. It is really important to make sure your experience when returning between expansions is fresh and filled with new content. And the way we did this was through leagues. Every expansion we make has a
Rise of the
which not
Abyssal.
only has a fresh economy, but also has new content exclusively available in that league. So, let's delve into the details of what Path of Exile 2's first official league is bringing to the table. The Abyssal
Join the
are a
Discord for the
race
giveaway?
that have
Hell yeah.
mastery of forbidden
It'll be a
magics
while before
and
we do it, but
necromancy.
definitely keep an eye out on
Thought to
the...
be extinct, but have merely been biding their time
Do I
underground.
have a giveaway section? I know I added
You
it.
first
Did I
encounter
keep
signs
it?
of the Abyssal in Clairfell, where you discover that during the night, weaker members of the Undead Legion have
yeah.
been attacking the encampment. The townsfolk require your help to
Gotta figure out
investigate
what
where
to
the
play
monsters
for an
are
hour
coming
before
from
work.
and put a stop to their attacks.
Out there, ancient creatures, lurking beneath the surface.
As you proceed through Rayclast, you'll find fissures in the earth connected to larger pits. The monsters normally inhabiting the area are being affected by it, harmed by it even, having their souls eaten.
Is
to
PoE
strengthen
2 or
the
Diablo
abyssal
4 better?
underground.
They're very different
As you
games that
defeat the
scratch
monsters,
different
the
itches.
fissure
I really
closes
enjoy
and
both.
abyssal emerge,
Diablo
angered
4 is
by
much
killing
more
their food.
arcadey, like where you can
Once
like...
all those fissures
It's
have
a lot
been sealed,
easier. You just
the
blow
pit
enemies up real
activates,
easy.
and
More
more
mindless.
abyssal pour out.
PoE, you really gotta focus
This is
in.
where
It's
the
a lot more
larger and
difficult.
more dangerous
But
monsters
in a lot of
reveal
ways
themselves,
does
as
seem a little more
hordes of
rewarding
abyss
for
will
those same
spill out from the
reasons.
pit to take your
This
soul.
comes out a week from Friday.
If you kill a magic pack, then magic abyssal arise. If you kill a rare, then a rare monster will emerge from the pit, having absorbed some or all of its modifiers for itself. This means
Trying
the
to find
monsters
something new.
emerging will
If you
generally
like
be more
difficult games, I think you'd like
and
this
more
one a lot.
rewarding, as each
It's still
modifier
not
gets better
done.
rewards.
It will be free at full release. It does cost like
If
25
you're
bucks or
able to
something
kill
right
them
now.
all, the pit will seal
It
shut.
is still very early access,
As
but
each pit
it's
is
really good.
closed, it reveals a potential
But this one's a
reward.
lot harder.
Abyssal troves will rise up out of the pits, allowing you to get some epic loot.
Did they confirm Druid? They have not confirmed any class yet. I don't think they're
Areas
going
often
to based
contain
on the
many
leaks that
pits
came out.
with many fissures,
But they could be
and the
saving it
amount
as a
goes up as
surprise.
you progress through the game, getting more intense. It doesn't stop there. When monster mods are absorbed, they have a chance to become
What up, Dibs?
infused
How you
with
doing?
dark necromancy, transforming them into abyssal modifiers. For example, you defeat this monster with the mana siphon.
You're good?
alone.
Hell yeah.
Their soul is eaten by the pit, and a rare
Wait.
monster emerges.
Their soul is
The
eaten
mana
by the... What did I
siphoner
miss?
modifier has transformed into Soul Siphoner. And
What
is
is this
now
icon on the
amplified
top
in
left?
danger and reward.
I just noticed that. You and your friend are done with Diablo for the season? Yeah, same.
Abyssal pits also interact with other monsters and mechanics. If you defeat a rogue exile that's near one, it'll be revived as a Lichborn that has multiple abyssal modifiers. Lichborn exiles even have their own unique jewel they can drop.
Yeah, I'm excited for
If you are
season
lucky
10,
enough to
but
encounter
I'm
and
definitely
kill
pretty
them.
done with season 9. I feel you, Rex.
If
I
an
feel
abyss
you.
spawns near a boss, killing it will summon a gigantic Giga Larvae creature.
Holy.
Monsters imprisoned in essences near abyssal pits are affected by the abyss too. will
They
come
released
with
this
an
0.3 for
additional
certain
new
people to
essence
play.
item that can be used to
They
craft your
did a
items.
couple of like play tests in China, I believe,
So,
but
that's your
I
bread
think
and
it's
butter of the
rolling out
abyssal.
for everybody next Friday.
Kill surface-dwelling monsters, kill the emerging
Hoping
abyssal,
season 10 releases a new
close the
class.
fissures,
It won't.
overcome
The new
prison
class won't
monsters,
come until the
and
next
reap the
expansion,
rewards.
which is going to be next year.
There's a lot more
No
to this
date yet,
league,
though.
however. As you complete abysses, you can find ancient pieces of bone, preserved from the remains of fallen Lichborn. These are one of the many rewards for your mission to seal the pits. You can use this on a rare item to imbue it with abyssal magic. adding a special hidden modifier to your item. But how do you reveal it? In Act 2 of the campaign, you'll encounter a new area. This area is overrun by the Abyssal and the Lost Men.
Similar
After
to
clearing
best
through
classes
this area,
last
you'll
time, played the
find
Lightning Spear
Well of
Hunters for a while.
Souls, a giant cavity with a massive vortex of souls swirling beneath you.
I have no idea.
So how do you
It doesn't seem
reveal
like
the
they're adding
mods
a
on
new
your
class, though,
Abyssal-infused
this time.
Items? Obviously, just throw them in, right? Yes, that's exactly what you do. Before throwing it in,
What up,
you're
Joe?
given the option of how you want to transform it, in the form of a choice of 3
Ooh,
different
choices. I like it.
modifiers. Once you've
Not sure what
chosen
you
your
think about Season
desired
10 yet?
mod, throw it in.
Based on the
where it will
PTR,
absorb the power of the souls, and the ominous creature will then
I think it
retrieve
has a
for
ton
you.
of potential.
These modifiers can be
PTR
run
always
from
feels
the core mod
underwhelming
pool
compared to the
all
full
way
season,
through
though.
to
I think it'll be
specialized
good, though.
modifiers that cannot normally appear on items. During the campaign, you can use it as a way to more easily add useful existing mods, but during the endgame, there is a whole set of new and powerful mods you can add to your items. Like this mod for crossbows that allows you to place an additional ballista totem.
What about the story? For this game, they're adding
this
Act
one
4
that
and
adds
then
spirit
3
to your
new
staff.
mini acts to take place instead of Act 5 and 6,
Or
since we
this
don't
one
have those
that
yet.
allows you to
But they're
generate
getting
more
rid of
combo with
Cruel.
your quarterstaff skills.
Have I seen the Raspberry Cream Ghost? I've seen screenshots of it. I haven't
speaking
seen
of
an
Endgame,
actual one, though.
You can also use
I
the
wanna
system
try it,
to
though.
craft waystones. With a preserved vertebrae fused into your waystones, you can get some new modifiers that push difficulty and rewards to new heights. Here are some examples of those
Hell
mods.
yeah.
You always get a choice of
Eat
3,
souls of
so you can
slain
avoid
monsters.
anything you don't think your character
How
is
you feel about the
capable of.
gear showing you have half health? You want all your health.
With this modifier, the natural inhabitants of the
Gear
area are
showing you
all
having
spawned
half
near
health.
abysses. And
So,
there are up to 9
that's only if
additional
you
abyssal
pick
pits in the area,
those certain
making it just a
perks.
full-on abyss
Like, that's a
ruckus.
choice that you have.
Or this one, which causes the final abyssal pit in the area to always result in a boss encounter.
Used to the
Be
orange
it
cream
either
ghost
one
mixed with
underground
half and half
or
raspberry
one
flavor. Oh,
that
really?
emerges out. There
What
are
is this?
dozens of these waystone modifiers in total you can get from this crafting. That covers the new crafting mechanic.
Oh.
So what's left? Well, we talked about how when closing pits you can get abyssal troves, but sometimes when closing an abyss, you'll reveal
I like
an
the aesthetic
underground
of this
cavern
zone.
that leads to the abyssal depths. After jumping into the depths, you'll find an abyssal city, swarming with legions of the undead. When underground, every single rare abyssal enemy will have an abyssal modifier. And at the end of the dungeon, you'll even find a rare with a more powerful Lichborn modifier. Once you're able to defeat this powerful rare, you can also find some nice rewards. Aside from the entire area being valuable due to the abyssal modifiers on the monsters, it has its own specific drops too. One example is a set of lineage supports that can rarely be found in these depths, like Kurgel's Leash. This support empowers both you and your minions when you command them, granting unholy might to you both. Another depth-specific outcome is a set of omen-like items that amplify your abyssal crafting. Additionally, we're adding some new socketables that can drop from the abyssal depths. Take Ulaman's Gaze, which can be socketed into your armor. These are a bit special in that you can only have one equipped at a time, but give some pretty powerful effects. Think of them as almost a unique socketable for your equipment. In the endgame, where you can still find depths, you also start to find a different type of underground chamber.
I'm gonna need to
In these
rewatch a lot of
areas,
this.
You'll find an ancient spire, a device being used by commanders of the abyssal
Marble
factions
Madness!
to plunge Rayclast into a lightless void. Your goal is simple: kill this commander and destroy the spire. There are 4 bosses in the Abyss League, and there are some pretty cool uniques available from them. An example is this belt, Darkness Enthroned. It has 2 sockets, but hold on, socketables
Make a
don't work on
60-second
belts.
recap video.
Well, this belt has a
How do I
special
fit all
mod
this in
that
60
allows
seconds?
it to
I don't
count as
know.
a different
Would be
slot
impossible?
for the
Yeah.
purpose of socketables.
Maybe a 6-minute video.
This one, for example, counts as a helmet. I kind of want
Counts
one
as
that
a
counts
helmet?
body armor. I wonder how rare that one is. You can also find this unique jewel.
What up, Sarah?
Undying Hate. This jewel transforms part of your passive skill tree into an abyssal version and has multiple depths. The deeper it goes, the more of your passive tree is affected, allowing you to fulfill your fantasy of becoming part Abyssal Lich.
Yeah.
Now, the last thing that Abyssal commanders can drop is a finger of the Lich. But what use do you have with a random undead finger? Well,
have a hard time
the next
understanding all the
time you
mechanics of
return
this
to the
game.
Well of
Agree.
Souls, with the finger in your inventory,
I made a tweet
your
about it
character will
because a
almost
lot of
feel
times when they announce stuff for
compelled
PoE 2,
to
they
do
announce
what,
it
you
as
might
if
ask?
you already
To jump
understand
in.
everything there is about
The
PoE
items you
1.
threw in came back
And
more
as someone who
powerful, right?
doesn't know
So,
PoE 1
what's the
very
worst
well,
that can
I'm just
happen?
like, huh?
Well, you will just have to find that one out for yourself. Along with the introduction of Act 4 and the interlude, we will be adding 25 new in-game maps.
But we'll try to learn it,
These
figure it all
maps will
out.
contain all the new monsters and bosses we're adding, improving variety and giving you opportunities to experience the new boss fights many times. Let's take a look at some examples. Rock Pools is a map where you explore a shallow rocky coastline, surrounded by coral and filled with sirens.
And
At the
following a
end
guide
is
so that helps a little,
giant
yeah.
Goblin King boss, ready to eat soul fight and squish you like a bug.
He's playing with dead bodies like they're
Hilton
toys.
is an Ezomite township which is seen
Brutal.
every days. Explore and clear the township to find a gothic, reaper-like boss with the ability to
one's
manipulate
sick.
storms and fry you with both lightning and wither you with chaos.
Yeah, their
Given
boss
some of
designs
the
are
new bosses
incredible.
added are a bit more epic, such as the act boss and final
Dead.
bosses of each interlude part, it would be a bit of a waste to just use them as regular map bosses. Instead, we'll be adding some new mechanics to
What
the
is
maps
that?
use them. These start appearing pretty fast into the endgame and will help bridge the gap until you do your pinnacle bosses. In the desert biome, you can encounter a wild sandstorm. 3 maps around the sandstorm contain a device you must activate. Upon doing this, the sandstorm's magic is disrupted, revealing the map inside and allowing you to access it and find the cause. This presents itself in the form of a boss, similar to the existing Citadel bosses.
I want your
This
sword.
boss is a Faradin Swordmaster, who has
Even
been
Act 4
blessed
won't
with
bring
the
you back?
power of a
Dang.
time gem,
Did they hurt
allowing him
you?
to take his swordsmanship to the
Are
next
they getting
level
rid of
by
citadels or just
replicating
using these
himself,
as midway points? I
maneuvering
don't think they're
rapidly,
getting rid of
and
them.
severing the fabric of time itself with his powerful slashes. In the water biome, you'll encounter a giant maelstrom, where one of the maps surrounding the water biome connects to it, but the connection is obscured. You must run the maps nearby, hoping to find a beacon, which will remove the maelstrom and reveal the connection to that map. Another example is this Vaal vault in the mountain biome. But how do we get inside? Running the adjacent maps to it will yield a key, which you can then use to gain access to this vault. Or, you could just trade for one, I guess. Use the key to dispel the powerful force field surrounding it, leading to the Vaal Elite and their rewards inside. These all contain Uber versions of the Act 4 boss, and the bosses at the end of each part of the interlude. And each have their own exclusive drop pool of new lineage supports, which, as Jonathan spoke about earlier, are powerful support gems that modify your skills in pretty crazy ways.
Like PoE 2, but sadly where you live,
As
there's
an
no
example
closed
of
server,
a
so you
lineage
lag
support
badly.
which can come
Gotcha.
from the Faradin Swordmaster
That's a
mentioned
bummer.
earlier,
Hopefully they get
we
more
have
up.
Garo Khan's Resolve, which causes your critical strikes to fork, but requires some mobility on your part to properly enable. From the boss sealed in the Vaal Vault, we have Paquate's Pact, which supports your war cries, causing them to inflict massive amounts of corrupted blood at the cost of your own life. Additionally, some maps can now spawn summoning circles, a room resembling an Ezomite henge.
A what?
Activating this henge will spawn bosses. It's as simple as that.
Now you want it to be out
Also
right now?
making
I mean, we
changes
only have
to
to
how
wait till next
affixes
Friday,
on
so it's not
waystones
too
work.
far out.
As the current prefixes equals good, suffixes equals bad, iteration isn't quite hitting the mark. We tried something new here in Path of Exile 2, but after seeing the feedback we decided we actually liked what we had in Path of Exile 1 more. Like Path of Exile 1, each affix will now be both difficult and rewarding.
Oh.
Waystone mods now grant an increase to the number of waystones dropped, and an additional specific upside attached to it. This means as you roll your map, they will continue to get more difficult and more rewarding, and allow you to customize the difficulty and rewards of your maps better. For example, the Frostbitten mod, which causes enemies to deal cold damage, also increases the rarity of items dropped as its upside. Whereas the Of Venom suffix modifier, which causes enemies to poison on hit, has the upside of granting increased pack size. Some maps will end up having a lot of rarity, some a lot of pack size, and others will just have a mixture of everything. Due to now having more modifiers granting difficulty, we will of course be reducing the difficulty per modifier to account for this. So, that's your Atlas, maps, and Waystones, but what about Breach, Ritual, Pinnacle content, and others of the sort?
Yeah,
We're
what
making
about
some
them?
changes around this too. The first change is that you'll now be able to invest 2 points into your specific League Atlas trees before having to run the Pinnacle content. There will be a specific objective for each type of content which grants you those points.
I never got
For
very
example,
deep into
in
the
case
end
of
game.
Delirium,
It confused me, and I
you just need to find and kill one of the bosses
never went
in a
back,
map.
but I need to. I need to try it
or
out.
Kosis. The rest of the points for each content come from the Pinnacle content, but we're making some changes to accessibility here too. Currently, access to most Pinnacle content requires the same key at the easiest and most difficult version of the content. This creates a negative feeling where at lower difficulties, instead of wanting to run the content, you're often better off just
These are new
selling
classes. They haven't
someone who
announced
can run
anything.
it at
Based on the
maximum
leaks, it doesn't sound like it, but it's possible that they kept that
To
a
address
surprise or a
this,
secret.
Each content will now drop splinters, which will not form into singular items. Instead of using the singular combined item in the Realm Gate, you can now just bring your splinters.
Yeah, I did play a little bit of
Upon inserting
PoE
the
1, but I
splinters
never
into
made
the
it that
Realm
far
Gate,
into
an
the end game.
interface will appear, allowing you to pick a
Act 4 is
difficulty,
confirmed, and
you'll
then they're
notice
getting rid of
each
Cruel
difficulty
and
has a
adding
different
3
entry
mini
cost.
temporary acts
This means if you
to take
want
place
run
at 5 and
easier
6.
difficulties, it costs less, which also allows you to run this content much sooner into the endgame. Because these encounters
But yeah,
now just
when I
require
do get to the end game
splinters,
again,
their
I'm gonna have to have
corresponding
like
Atlas
chat
tree
help
no
me like
longer affects the
explain how
difficulty
things
level,
work and stuff, because I
and
do
has
want to
been
get more
changed to
into it.
purely affect the content and maps
In
on
both
the
PoE
Atlas.
1 and 2.
The Arbiter of Ash works a bit differently. Instead of requiring splinters, he still needs crisis fragments. We now have only 2 difficulties of the Arbiter. The first, requiring the existing fragments obtained from citadels.
Game? Path of
The
Exile
second,
2.
Uber Arbiter, requires calamity fragments. These come from citadel bosses also, but only once you've allocated the maximum number of points in your boss Atlas tree, ensuring those citadels are at their highest difficulty level. Since we're talking about Pinnacle content, we also felt that the leveling curve in the late game was a bit too steep. We've smoothed this out a bit so that it's easier to get to the mid-90s.
Okay.
We've also added some new in-game unique items. Let's take a look at a couple. Thunderfist is a pair of gloves that grants Crackling Palm, a skill which empowers your unarmed attacks, granting the ability to call down the storms themselves on enemies you hit. Put simply, literally every monster you hit with your unarmed skills will be struck by powerful lightning.
Looks
Pair
cool.
this with the aforementioned Hollow Palm technique to embrace your true unarmed prowess in combat. Another unique we're adding is Henekura's Sight. Equip this amulet to be granted the power of the Mother of Death herself.
Unarmed monk build? Yeah.
This is
It basically
reflected
lets
by
you use
granting
all of your
skill
quarterstaff
called
abilities
Foresight.
while unarmed.
While you have Foresight, your dodge roll no longer avoids hits. But instead, being hit while dodge rolling restores you to full life and makes you unable to die for a brief period of time. You'll notice when this does occur, a copy of your character appears and takes the full damage. This is you seeing that future, as if you hadn't been wearing the amulet. Ultimately, your in-game experience should be more streamlined. With new content to find, you'll be able to invest in your Atlas trees sooner, engage with Pinnacle content faster, have less FOMO running said Pinnacle content, reach higher levels easier, and do all of that while finding many new chase endgame items.
Sounds good.
Talking about finding items is one thing, but what about crafting them? We've taken a step back and looked at some of our crafting systems to make some notable improvements. Let's start with essences, which suffered from an issue where the regular essences were effectively useless and didn't give players the tools or excitement that a crafting system should provide. To alleviate these concerns, essences are being changed in a few ways. Firstly, they're being changed to function like regals and add specific modifiers with specific values, meaning you know exactly what you're going to get. We found that players were often bottlenecked by regal orbs when crafting in the campaign, so this helps to fill that gap, allowing you to better upgrade your items. For example, this Lesser Essence of Flames, which will be able to add a flat amount of fire damage to your magic martial weapons. Secondly, we're adding many more tiers. That Lesser Essence of Flames, for example, has a regular variant and a greater variant too, adding even more fire damage with each upgrade. The intention of this is so that when you find one early on, you don't worry about holding onto it till later to use on a higher level item. You should feel free to use them as they come to get powerful upgrades during the campaign. Lastly, our highest tier of essences, now called
Time to start on dinner? What are you making me?
Will function like a Chaos Orb instead of a Regal. So it will replace one of the modifiers on your rare items with the specified mod. Such as this Perfect Essence of Flames. You'll notice this one doesn't just add flat fire damage like the ones before it. The Perfect Essences often give something a bit different, with some opportunities to be pretty damn powerful. There are many different essences, each with many tiers, covering many of the more core modifiers you'd want on items early on, through to chase specialized ones for in-game.
Fried chicken bites, honey corn casserole, and scallion
we really wanted
pancakes.
to expand our crafting options for late in-game crafting projects. You might have noticed that at in-game,
I would eat that.
Way too many transmutes. Wouldn't it be nice if some of those didn't drop, but instead you got something a little more powerful? At higher levels, you can now
It's like
find
endgame Alice points
Greater
are going
Orb of
to essences.
and Perfect Orb of Transmutation.
I can
These
see
can
that.
be used
I
on
can see
normal
that.
items to
What up,
upgrade them to
Chris?
Magic, ensuring that the modifier generated is of a minimum level. This is similar to how you find higher tier items on the ground, but for crafting. These higher tiers will also exist for Orb of Augmentation, Regal Orb, Exalted
That was
Orb,
quick.
and Chaos Orb, meaning you can get all
How you
of
doing?
the orbs required to take your item from normal rarity to a fully completed rare with guaranteed high tier mods. On top of these new core crafting currencies, we wanted to make sure there are powerful crafting bases.
I'm pretty
to use
good.
them on.
I'm excited for this.
Now
I haven't played it in a
in-game,
while,
you can
and it's
start to
looking
find
good.
Exceptional items. These are items that drop at normal rarity and are perfect for your from-scratch crafting project.
Yeah.
They can come with extra quality, up to 30%, or an additional socket to use your crafting socketables in. And yes, they can be corrupted for yet another socket.
3 sockets.
You
Yeah.
can also get exceptional unique items.
Ooh.
To add even further to your crafting arsenal, we've added a whole suite of new omens to ritual content, and removed some of the more unimpactful ones that weren't being used. Some of the new omens include the Omen of the Ancients, which will cause your next Orb of Chance to not destroy the item, but generate a random unique of the same class. Or the Omen of Sanctification, which is my new favorite. This will cause your next Divine Orb used on a rare item to reroll the values of its modifiers, allowing it to exceed the normal minimum and maximum values, raising the ceiling on the new most powerful rare items in the game. This omen will also cause your item to become sanctified. Sanctified items cannot be crafted, just like corrupted ones, so consider carefully when you use this. Another is the Omen of Chaotic Monsters, which will cause your next Chaos Orb to reroll all modifiers on a Waystone, allowing you to fix your maps if you get some modifiers that are not feasible for your build. Besides these examples, there is a huge variety of new omens for you to discover in your ritual encounters. With the release of Act 4, notably taking place in the Karori Archipelago, you'll be able to now find a new currency item, Henikora's Lock. Henikora, the Karori goddess of death, has the power of foresight, and is able to see many futures.
She's cool.
Including the outcome of your next craft. So, imbuing her lock onto an item gives you that same power too. For example, you'll know whether or not to use an Exalted Orb on your item, as you will know exactly what the outcome is. So, with all these new crafting improvements, it's safe to say you're going to be making some epic items, and not necessarily just ones for yourself. So given that, it's time to talk about a massive one. Trade.
Yeah, this is gonna be a big deal.
It's finally here. The moment we've all been waiting for. Fully asynchronous trade. Over the years, the way players trade with each other in Path of Exile 1 has morphed from using the forums, through to the in-game chat, all the way through to using the website. These systems, in all their iterations, work for a while, but with each iteration new problems eventually reveal themselves. Be it requiring you to be in your hideout too much instead of out there killing monsters, or never getting responses from people who are either AFK or just can't be bothered. In order to finally solve this, and this has been a long time coming, we're adding a new system that allows you to buy items from other players without requiring the seller to be present. They can continue farming, killing monsters, AFK as they please, and can even be offline. With the
that's
King's March
huge.
in Act 4,
That's
you will
huge.
encounter Ange, assistant to Rog in the Meridian Free Traders Company. Over the last 2 decades or so, since Path of Exile 1's storyline, Faustus has handed down his knowledge and expertise to Ange, and she is now ready to take over his business. If you have a hideout unlocked already, you can immediately invite her there. If you don't have a hideout yet, you will need to acquire one. You can do this by completing a quest to defeat one of the bosses inhabiting an island in Act 4, allowing you then to take a slice of it for yourself, making it your new home and base of operations. Once invited to your hideout, she will now
You live on the
serve as operating
beach!
your currency exchange, but also serve as the figurehead in your new trading empire. So, how does this new system work? In the existing trade system, you would list items for sale in premium stash tabs. And then when someone wanted one, you'd have to take it out for yourself and trade it to them. Now, instead of using those, you can give your items to Ange so she can sell them for you. Each item must have a price set. The prices are set using in-game currency items, such as Exalted Orbs or Chaos Orbs. Once a price is set,
no new classes have been announced yet.
Searching for it on the trade website.
And based on the leaks, it doesn't sound like it.
Once a
But they could have
desired
kept
item
that
has been found,
to themselves
you
and
can
not
hit a
told
button,
anybody.
which will
So maybe.
instantly teleport your character in-game to their hideout. Then, you can immediately purchase the item. And while there, if you want, browse
That's
their
a
other
hand.
goods, in case there's a good deal someone else hasn't yet discovered. You'll notice that as a buyer, on top of the currency the seller set for the price, it also costs gold to purchase an item, as Ange has bills to pay after all. As a seller, you'll immediately receive a notification when an item of yours is sold, and can also
Way
see
cooler
an
than you
effect
thought it'd be,
above
yeah.
Ange in your hideout when she is unclaimed.
Happy with
currency.
Act 4 and the 3 Maniacs, yeah.
Just go talk to her, claim your currency, and continue playing at your leisure.
Yeah, this is a neat way to do it. I hope
As
Diablo
many
4
people
gets
already
inspired.
acquired premium stash tabs for the purpose of the
Beef
trade
stroganoff,
system,
that sounds
we
good.
wanted to add a way for you to convert your existing tabs to merchants tabs, if you want. You can do that here, on the website, but only if you purchase those tabs before the release of the Third Edict. To clarify, the existing trade system will remain fully intact, so your premium stash tabs will not lose any of their functionality. We just figured people might want to switch over to this new system. We expect a lot of feedback around this new system and are looking forward to trying it out with you. As we are not able to test internally with an entire, thriving economy, there will certainly be some kinks to work out. Based on how the system goes, we will be adding it to Path of Exile 1 when ready, so
Ooh.
any of the tabs you purchase will also be usable there later. Next up, we're going to be talking about our new supporter packs. Today, we're launching 2 new series of supporter packs, the Justice and Trathan Executioner packs.
They gotta collect their paycheck.
Each tier contains the pack's full face value in points, alongside several exclusive microtransactions. As always, the microtransactions in these packs are purely cosmetic and do not affect your character's power or progression in any way. The Justice series of supporter packs contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. claim glory after defeating enemies, or inspire your allies by calling down the Banner of Justice portal. The Sphinx Mystic hideout decoration will identify items for you, displaying them as it does so. This ancient creature has been presented with many items.
That
over
thing's
the
creepy.
eons, so has some strong expressions to make on the quality of your wares. Become a true warrior, worthy of delivering the justice of the eternal gods with the Apostle of Justice armor set. This armor set also comes with a matching back attachment containing a set of scales to measure your worth. With the Apostle of Justice finisher effect equipped, the Goddess of Justice herself will appear to decide on a verdict for slain unique enemies. Witness as she decides the fate of your slain foes. Will they ascend to be amongst the gods or be banished to the underworld? The Griffin fledgling pet will be your courageous companion as you journey throughout Rayclast. Take your place in the skies in the Plateau of the Gods hideout. This hideout comes
Dang,
with
that
many
place is
different
cool.
sections for setting up your home or base of operations.
Oh, they didn't add a new class and decided to
In order to travel
balance and
between
add
them,
on to existing
you
classes.
simply
Yeah.
just need to walk off the edge. Like a true eternal god, you can float between the mountains on the
Neat.
clouds themselves. The Trathan Executioner pack series also contains 6 exclusive microtransactions. The Trathan Executioner finisher effect is a brutal display of Trathan
Hell
might,
yeah. Squeeze
crushing
them.
slain unique enemies as if they were bugs beneath your heel.
I love that.
As a
Maybe not
Trathan
for $30,
executioner,
but I do
you're
love
the
that.
perfect master for the ever-hungry carrion raptor pet. It has taken a particular liking to
Happy
the
about all
taste
the new
of other
stuff. Biggest
pets.
wins Act 4. Yeah,
And at your
yeah.
command, it will swoop down
New
and
content's gonna be
eviscerate
great.
them. Proceeding to
And not
satisfy
having
its
to do
hunger
cruel
by feeding
anymore.
on their
Huge
corpse.
W.
The nobles of the 4 major Trathan houses had their mercenaries, but if their
Didn't get your
hired
druid
hands
yet,
became
not yet.
notably irritating, they'd have to call in the Trathan executioners. You can now embrace their methods and become
looks cool.
brutality incarnate with the
I do
cruel
wonder
Trathan
though, because like
executioner
all this stuff
armor
was
set.
revealed in like the China stuff. That's
The
why
matching
it was
cruel
able to be
Trathan
leaked.
executioner cloak
But I'm curious,
will
did they
shroud
hold a
you in
class
scales
back? Maybe
as
they
you
do
crush
have
the
it, and
skulls
they're
of
just
your
waiting till the
enemies
end.
and leave a trail of blood
It's a
behind
little
you
bit
as
of
you burn up a
copium,
kill
but
streak.
it's possible. It's
Or
possible.
use the alternate variant to simply put a skeleton on your back. Be bathed in blood as you mutilate monsters with the cruel Trathan Executioner character effect. The swirling blood increases in volume as your spree of slaughter continues. Both this effect and the cloak use the same kill streak for tracking how much blood is shown. After a long and tiring day of executions, enjoy a relaxing game of dice with the Goblin Gambler's Hideout decoration. They'll definitely be playing fair, right? The Pulverizer map device brings a horrid efficiency to punishing the
Nice.
crafters. Each map you open will execute the next victims. This map device in its true ruthlessness tracks the total number of monsters killed, your kills
Live
per
stream
second,
Monk 2.
and your largest kill streak up to the point of the map being completed. This is then displayed on a leaderboard so you can take a measure of you and your friends' violence at the end of each map. Additionally, any microtransactions from the supporter packs will be made available for use in Path of Exile 1.
That's cool.
That's enough about cosmetics. Let's get into the Q&A. But firstly, I want to give a huge thank you for your ongoing support. We're just about to start the Q&A with Ziggy D. Afterwards, at 11 AM NZ time,
You're
or
responsible for the
4
deaths
PM
just because you want to
Pacific,
play a map?
we'll
Yeah.
post Path of Exile 2, the
So
Third
tragic.
Edict's patch notes. With the release at the end of next week, our community team will be posting crucial information you need for the release. Keep an eye on the news.
Huh?
Thanks for joining us today and checking out our latest developments.
What does that mean?
We're looking forward to seeing your experiences with Act 4 and its new bosses, fighting the Abyssal, trying new builds, and crafting new items. We'll begin the Q&A shortly, so please get your questions ready.